Hello, this is Slowrider coming at you live from downtown Main Street, Slowrider Acres, USA. Just got back from a fun ride on the freeway doing triple digits in miles per hour. So, 100, 105, 115 on these three bikes. So this is the 10,000 mile review of the 2024 Panigale V2s. So we got two of these babies. I got two twin boys here. So we got two V2s, which we love dearly. They're awesome. We got the nice Arai helmets to go with them. So basically these bikes, bought them this year at the beginning last year, 2024, at the beginning of summer. So in, I think April, bought them in April, ordered them from the factory, had them shipped over here. So we got them brand new. They each have 10,000 miles on it. I got two twin boys. They're each 21 years old. So they ride these. They put all the miles on them, of course. And they've all had their services. We've done all the standard service, factory recommended oil changes, all that sort of thing. So basically just a quick rundown. They've had the first initial, there's about 500 initial oil change you do on it. And then the second big one is 7,500, where that's just the super duper, they check the chain and they check all the fluids and all the fasteners, and they do oil change and check the air filters and all that sort of stuff. So they passed in flying colors. I have other videos doing that. So what I wanted to go over in this video was just the basic, basically the long-term reliability. So for two bikes, each 10,000 miles, basically no problems with them. So I can't say enough. We ride these bikes, I guess, on the freeway and on the twisties pretty hard. In my opinion, we're ripping them. I mean, now I have a hard time. My boys learned I taught them how to ride on these bikes. And the reason I did it sounds funny, but just for the safety, because with the Ducati riding modes and the IMU and the anti-lock brakes, the anti-wheelie, the traction control, the dynamic ABS, cornering ABS, all that stuff. Hey, why not? It's like having airbags on a motorcycle, and a seatbelt. So when you ride these things, you feel very safe because you can just rip, and they rip like scary fast. But you're not going to do something. You don't have to be always on the edge, managing the the slide outs, or you don't have to worry too much about doing a high side or a low side or things like that. I mean, you can turn that all off, but if you just want to have fun, you can rip these things. Like we rip through the twisties like twice or three times the speed limit, which I don't recommend, but you can do it. And then on the freeways, we go, we always hit 120 miles an hour. I mean, that's in California. Just to get on the freeway, you got to be doing 90. That's the merge speed. And then people just drive crazy here. So it's actually, the faster you go, the safer it is. That sounds counterintuitive. Oh, and there's my, I'll just show you. So I got 4 Ducatis. So I have 3 red ones and I have one. I have a black and white Ducati. His name's Ziggy. He's my white and black tuxedo Ducati. So he's inspecting everything. But the only thing, new tires every 5,000 miles on all these bikes. So we burn through the rubber. So basically, I used to replace the front at 7,000 and the rear at 5, but now every 5 I just replace the front and rear, and that's a rule of thumb. It's just I start checking it. So when I start seeing it go below the wear, I have had times where I've been at the gas station on my bike, the V4 up there, the Diablo V4, and you see something shiny on your tire. That's those are the threads. So just get it replaced. But I usually don't go that. That was the first time I get 8,000 out of my first tire. But anyways, so now I do it every 5,000, which is more on all the bikes. And that's just normal wear and tear from riding around. And it's a safety thing, so it's worth, it's worth it. It's about $1,000, probably not that, but it's like well, maybe $700, you know, for front and rear tire for safety. You know, I think it's worth it. So on these bikes, we haven't really done too many modifications, except we have done the, we put the handlebar bar tip mirrors. We got rid of the, what I call the Mickey Mouse ears, and we put turn signals. These are CRG turn signals, but they're out of them. So on this one, I had to, I just put these progressive blinkers on, which they look pretty cool and they're really bright. So, I mean, they're actually a lot, these CRGs are not very bright. So I might actually change the CRGs out for those, because those are just much brighter and you see them. So on these bikes, I like the red color, but also the visibility, people see them. And then we have the lighter colored helmets, obviously. Got the Airy Contour X's, which I love, with the, we got the Senya wireless mesh system. So we can either talk over the wireless mesh or, you know, it's got Bluetooth, cell phone. You can Google Maps, call people. You can do whatever you want. You know, you're out on the road, you ask it where the next gas station will tell you. Anyways, but, so these bikes, this one here, really no issues. This one, a small issue. Same exact bike, same year, but had to replace the chain because the chain stretched and it was out of limits from the factory. So I'm not really sure why. That happened like at, I think like 6,000 miles. I don't remember. So I just replaced the chain, but it was too loose and it was stretched. So this one has a new chain on it and this one has the factory chain. So I don't know why that happened. It just did. But otherwise, no problems. I mean, these are fun to ride. They're stable. I don't want to say it's a beginner bike, but it's a good, safe bike to learn on. I'm 6'1". My boys are both 6'2", so we fit on these bikes nicely. You kind of see, it's just perfect. It's almost made for like someone 6 foot or taller. It just fits perfectly. They're easy to handle. Since I ride these once in a while, the V2s, I'm never getting, I love my Diablo V4. I'm never getting rid of it. This bike, I have almost 35,000 miles on it now. No problems. I made a video about that a while ago, a 30,000 mile review. I just got back. Yeah, we got back from a ride. I ride this to the grocery store. I go go to work every day, 100 miles round trip. So I know you can, but anyway, it's about these, but these bikes are nice. They're 155 horsepower BHP, which is the crank. That's the horsepower out of the crank. It's not the wheel horsepower. So, I mean, the new quote unquote Panigale V2s do not have the single-sided swing arm. The seating position, I think, is a little different. And they also don't have the steering damper, and they don't have the 155 horsepower. I believe it's like 120. Because I think what they did is they wanted to make these bikes more affordable. And with this these have the Super Quadro engine, which the new V2 doesn't have. So the 2025 Panigale V2 does not have the Super Quadro. It basically has the monster motor, which is fine, but it puts out like only 120 horsepower or something like that, so it's less. So I mean, they tried to bring the price down. So there's a few bits and pieces that are missing on the new version of it, but yeah, otherwise these bikes are great. They run great. Like I said, they survived 2 beginners, so they've never been dropped or laid down. None of these bikes, we haven't wrecked them. So let me see. My bike's got 35,000 miles plus 10. So it's out of 55,000, almost 60,000 miles of Ducati awesomeness. Hasn't rust dusted or busted, so they're dependable. I've never got stranded anywhere on these things. We ride them all over on long rides. I've definitely, probably this summer, now that I have 35,000 miles under belt, I'm going to take my Diablo on a big road trip across the country, maybe a few thousand miles. because I'm not worried about the reliability. Just me, one man, one motorcycle, one backpack. That's it, man. But anyways, these 2024, let's look at these babies one more time. And then these bikes all have the Slow Rider livery, which is the trademark white pinstripes with the yellow shell logos. People always like the yellow shell logos. They always ask questions about these bikes, so they all look pretty nice. I like the white and black. And then also I took off removed this plastic cover. Not sure whether there's a plastic cover over the shock. I mean, you can see that nice yellow color. So these bikes are pretty much, I think they're finished work, man. They're nice. They're gonna stay. So the next bike. So I'm gonna be selling beautiful Slow Rider Acres, my beautiful Tuscan Italian villa here in the next few months on 3 acres. You know, nice little pad. But so I'll be selling that. I'll be moving down to Phoenix, Arizona. So if anyone wants to hit the road with Slow Rider down there in Phoenix area, send me a text and we'll set something up and, you know, go for a day trip or half trip or just a burger joint. Yeah, whatever. I ride whenever. If it's 30 degrees out Fahrenheit or if it's 120, I'm out there riding. I just don't, and even on these bikes, people complain about the heat on the V2s, but so far, we ride these all the time in the heat. In the summer, last summer it was like 110, 115 in Sacramento. We're riding it around, no problem. As long as you keep moving, you got to keep moving. I mean, you can't just sit there in traffic, but you got to be moving. And we're always moving at least 80 miles per hour, so no problem, no overheating problems. We do wear the wet vests, coolings, under leather jackets. So you see how I'm dressed now. I don't have the full suits. I have the leather jackets. And they're a little bit loose so that you can put in the cold, I can put like extra sweatshirts and stuff underneath. And then in the summer, I can wear my wet vest under here. So I wear a t-shirt, a cotton, and wear all cotton, cotton jeans, cotton shirt, because that lets your sweat vaporize and cool you in the summer. And put a cotton shirt, I put the wet vest underneath it. And I use... I'll give kudos where kudos is due. BMW, I bought the BMW wet vest, and it works really good. It's like a, not really a wetsuit, but it looks like a wetsuit material, but it's a spongy blue, and it lasts for like about 4 hours. Those other vests out there that are cloth, they dry out in about a half hour and you start sweating. So the BMW has a wet vest, and it's just the vest. And it fits under your jacket, and you zip up your jacket. And I always get the perforated jackets, and then the air goes through, and you're comfortable even when it's cold because you got the layers on. And when it's hot, the air blows through, and it can be 110 out. And you're riding. You come home. You're literally. I've measured the temperature of my skin. It's 70 degrees. It's amazing. Your body on your chest and back feels cold. So. Definitely recommend the wet vest, and it's probably going to work better in Phoenix because it's dry, so you're going to get more evaporative cooling. So my point is we ride these all the time in the heat, and we also wear the leather pants and the full boots and gauntlet gloves with the helmets. And so this heat, you don't feel the heat. I guess if you're just riding around in your shorts and t-shirt or jeans, yeah, it's probably your butt's going to get hot. But you know, if you're wearing motorcycle leathers, that's what the leathers are for. They protect you, counterintuitively, it insulates against the heat and the cold. So, and I always right now I have jeans on under here. Just blue jeans, cotton though. So cotton blue jeans always. And if it's really cold in the 30s, I put long johns and jeans, so you can layer up and just be comfortable. But these bikes, I would, the Panigale V2s are very dependable. 10,000 miles on this one, 10,000 miles on that V2, no problems. We rip them around, and they sound great. We were going to put new mufflers on them, but the stock exhaust and tune is really good. Even if you upmap these, you get like half a horsepower. So I'm just leaving them stock, and they sound really good. So the Diavolo V4 factory muffler sounds like a lawnmower, so I had to change that one. And plus, you get like an extra 10 to 15 horsepower across the whole band, so that was worth it. But for the Panigale V2s, I'm not going to go for a whole new muffler system. You're going to get a few more horsepower for like it's probably going to be about $4,000 per each bike. So, but the stock muffler sounds really good. So. And then also we always ride these bikes at 7,000 and 8,000 RPM just cruising, so they sound good. If you're bogging them down like at anything less than 6,000 RPM on any of these bikes, sounds like they're bogging down. So if you have one of these bikes, please cruise it at like 7,000 at least. And then the shift points, of course, will be 8, 9, 10,000. So, and you'll notice it gets pretty frisky, but it's actually safer and easier to ride. Okay, so Slow Rider and the Slow Rider Cruise approve of the Ducati Panigale V2s. So be safe out there. Slow Rider out.